Welcome to Unity Christian High School, located at 25 Burton Avenue. My name's Alan Schenk, and I'm the principal here at Unity Christian High. We're located about 5 minutes from the Barrie waterfront, and we're in a historic, over 100-year-old building with a few additions in the late 50s and early 60s. Why don't you come on in? The difference between Unity Christian High School and other schools is that we operate with a Christian worldview and a Christian perspective. We offer the same Ontario Secondary School diploma, but our diploma comes infused with a Christian worldview and where God is central in everything we do and everything we learn. One of the great things about Unity is that we're in this historic building, and so as you can see, we have these wide hallways and very high ceilings, 14-foot ceilings, which is great, gives lots of space, especially when we're in a time where we're dealing with a pandemic. Extra space is a great thing to have. Over here we have our student lounge. This is normally an area where students will eat their lunch, and they also can hang out here when they have spares, particularly our grade 11 and 12 students. And so this is just a casual space for students. We don't offer a hot lunch program or anything, but we do have access to several restaurants very nearby. And so sometimes more our senior students will go out and buy their lunch in one of the nearby restaurants. Over here we have our administrative offices. This is where you'll meet Mrs. Running, our administrative assistant, and also Mr. Thomas, our marketing and development director, who most of you probably won't have a lot of contact with, but he does a lot of the things that help to market our school. As you can see on the walls here, you'll notice that we have a drama program. COVID has somewhat impacted our ability to do drama, but we've had a great drama program. We try and do a major production every couple of years. And so hopefully once COVID is done, we can begin a major production again. We'll talk more about our athletic program later, but our mascot is the lion, so we are called the Unity Lions, and we compete in the Simcoe County Athletic Association and the Georgian Bay Secondary School Athletic Association. This is our library. It's not really used a lot for the books in it, although some students do use the books. It's really used as a quiet study space. Again, when students have spares, they'll come in here, do homework, and this is one of our quiet study spaces. So at this point, you can see that students are spread out, again, because of COVID, but normally there's a little bit more action, obviously, going on in here during the day when students have spares. This space is our computer lab. Honestly, our computer lab isn't used a lot anymore. Nowadays, most students bring their own laptop, and we encourage them to bring their own laptop. We encourage students to use their own device. And so these computers in here are really only used for students who maybe their laptop isn't working, or they need access to something that they don't have on their computer, and maybe we have it on the devices here. But this is a space that we don't use a lot, but it is available to students when needed. Unity is located in the heart of the Allendale neighborhood. As part of a good neighbor, we've provided this communal garden for our neighbors and area residents, and also the homeless in the city of Barrie. This produces a lot of vegetables for our community. Beyond helping to plant it in the spring, the rest of the maintenance of the garden is really done by our community and community members. And we're happy to provide this space to support our community. So all this space out at the back here is part of the Unity property. Let's go downstairs and we'll look at our art studio and our technology room. At Unity, we offer art, usually a grade 9 and 10 art in one semester and a grade 11 and 12 art in another semester. And so if you come in here, you can see some of the student work that's being done. Actually, the artwork at the very back of the classroom is part of our senior project course. But you'll also notice some other artwork on the walls from different work that's in the portfolios of students in the art class right now, which is a grade 11 and 12 art class. So one of the other things you'll notice about Unity is it's a historic building, but we have lots of large windows, which you don't see in a lot of newer buildings. Even though we're in a basement technically right now, you'll see these nice large windows which give natural light, and you'll notice that that's a feature of pretty much every classroom in the school. So we have a few other spaces that I'd like to show you in the basement here. One is this room across the hall. This is our Student Success Center. This is a space where students who need some additional support can come. We have a teacher who offers student success support, particularly for students who have IEPs, individualized education plans, or have a variety of learning needs and accommodations. They get extra support in this space. Two other rooms down here beyond the washrooms, which you don't need to see. But two other rooms down here are our wood technology space and a small athletic space that I want to show you. This room here is a small workout room. And so this is more used for our senior phys ed classes where they'll work on various fitness programs. Not a lot of space, but again, I'll talk a little bit more about athletics towards the end of this tour. The other space down here is our wood shop. And so we have a number of courses, usually one in the first semester and one in the second semester, for students to learn a little bit more about woodworking and construction technology. Right now, there's not a lot of projects going on in here, but there are a few that have been done. And of course, with students being forced into distance learning, they're doing their woodworking projects from home right now. But you can see that we have a lot of great equipment, and we have a well-stocked wood shop for our students to use. So now we're on the second floor, and I'll show you one of our typical classrooms. You'll note that our classroom currently is set up for distance learning with the desks spread apart. Normally you'd see the desks in groupings of some sort, depending on the teacher's preference and style of teaching. We certainly want to accommodate project-based learning, which is one of the educational practices we use here at Unity. And we certainly encourage collaboration and group work where it's appropriate. And so that's something that we'll normally do in the classroom, although we are limiting that now due to COVID. Again, you'll notice on the second floor that we have nice large hallways, nice and open, lots of space for our students. And the other space that I'd like to show you up here, well, I'll show you one more classroom, and then I'll show you also our science lab. So this is another classroom. You'll notice that, again, very spacious, large windows, lots of space for our students. This room has individual desks because this room is being used for our largest class. One of the great things about Unity is our classes are pretty small. Our largest class here at Unity is currently the grade 10 class, which has 18 students. So a great part of the Unity educational experience is small class sizes with lots of teacher attention. The final room that I'd like to show you is our chemistry or science lab, and this is a great space for learning. As we're in a renovated elementary school space, it didn't have a science lab when we purchased this space. So we've converted it with these great science pods, we'll call them, which allow for some collaborative learning space, great utilization of access to a sink and access to electricity, where students can use that for doing various labs. So this is a great space with all the equipment we need to do chemistry, biology, do dissections, lab experiments, and all the other things that make science fun to learn. And so this is a great space for that. We'll make our way back down to the main floor, and then we'll head to what we call the PAC, which is our Performing Arts Center. So we're back on the main floor. Before we get to that Performing Arts Center that I told you about, as we go down the hallway here, you'll notice on the left, the right-hand side, walking that way, that we have a guidance counselor office as well. And we have a guidance counselor who's here, support students in selecting their courses, helping them choose university programs, and she teaches a little bit as well, but she does a lot of guidance to support our students. So this is our guidance office. So down here on the near the main entrance, you'll find our Performing Arts Center. This space is actually a small gymnasium that was used for the elementary school that used to be in this building. We now use it primarily for our music program, for our assemblies and chapel services, which we do each Friday. And we also use this occasionally for some athletic things, but one of the things, as I've talked about our athletic program a couple times, we also have access to a gymnasium at Timothy Christian School, and so our phys ed classes will travel there to do large team sports like volleyball, basketball, badminton, those kinds of things. We try and make use of the outdoors as much as possible. We do have a basketball court outdoors on the property here at Unity, and we are very close to Shear Park, which has a baseball diamond and tennis courts and some open green space that we utilize for a lot of outdoor activities. So this space we do music, often band and choir, and also we obviously do our drama program in this space when we're able to do drama, when we aren't limited by the confines of COVID-19. So here we're back at the main office. We've given you a virtual tour of our space. Hopefully you've gathered some information from that, but hopefully you also have some questions. And so here's the opportunity for you to connect with us. Contact our office, info@unitychristianhigh.ca, and we'd be happy to provide you with more information about our program, about our staff, and about our extracurriculars, and any other questions that you might have. So we hope that you'll reach out and connect with us and contact us and join us for one of our virtual open houses that will happen in the next month or so. And the dates will be posted for those very soon. Thank you.